Hello everyone, welcome to our edition of the Ohio Guys here. I'm Christian Ocampo and we are on location in Chicago, Illinois for Call No Delete, and today I'm being joined by Whitney Rodgers.
Hi!
Hello Whitney, how
Hi.
are you doing?
I'm doing great. I left Texas and it started snowing and now I come here and it's so warm, so I am very, very happy.
Well, I'm glad you're here in my hometown.
Thank
Chicago.
you. Oh, it's your hometown.
Yes.
Awesome. I'm enjoying my stay.
I am enjoying it. Thank
Oh,
you.
good.
Thank you for being here.
No worries.
So we have a few questions we'd like to ask you.
Okay.
First of all, what is it like working in the industry today?
Oh man, it's a little strange. At home, I don't want to say I'm nobody because that sounds negative, but I'm completely anonymous. And then I show up here and people are like, "You've changed my life with the show," and I'm like, "Really? I had a bad attitude throughout the whole show." And well, good. So it's exciting and it's never what I expect, but I'm always treated with a lot of respect and kindness. So it's nice. It's like, oh boy, I'm gonna be treated nicely for 3 days, and then back to life where people run me off the road and cut in front of me in line at the grocery store. I'm just joking. But no, it's strange. It's just like any other job, just with more anonymity and random pockets of people knowing who I am and going, "Whitney Rodgers," as they walk by, which is like, yes, hello? So it's interesting.
It is. All right, during your time in the industry, and this is a tough question to ask, what is your favorite show you have worked on?
Oh, there's so many. I guess my favorite show, I'm gonna think about show as in like what I like to watch, what I had fun doing, would probably be Maria the Virgin Witch. I enjoyed the fact that she wasn't always straight up mean to everyone. I enjoyed getting the chance to talk in a high-pitched voice as the owl. Until that moment, I actually had never really done anything different than this voice down here. So getting to be the owl was really exciting and new, and that was one of my second time, I think, to work with Sonny Strait, and he is just a hoot. He makes you feel very comfortable. He's a lot of fun to work with. Also, the storyline is really sweet, and overall, it's my favorite to watch. It was probably my favorite to be a part of as well.
All right. Another question we'd like to ask you, what was it like working on a Astrometrical Index, the Miracle of Endymion?
Oh, exciting. I think that might have been maybe my second or my third named role to be a part of, and I was still very new. I was actually working as a security officer during that time, so I felt really just man, this is not where I want to be in life, and I knew those shows were going for a long time. When I was asked to be a part of it, it was what did they call it? I was paid to audition, but it was also an audition where they assumed that I was going to be that part. And so if they didn't like it, I would have gotten paid for my time and they would fill somebody else in. But thankfully, they liked it. And I think it was maybe the second time. Who directed that? Never mind. I don't know who that was.
I think it was Jerry Jewell.
It was Jerry. Okay, so I just met Jerry after doing a Q&A for Hog and I. So it was my second time to meet him, and I was a big fan of Fruits Basket, so it was a little nerve-wracking. He's also very good at the deadpan humor, so sometimes I would be in the booth doing a take, and he'd be like, "That's adequate, let's move on." And in my head, I'm thinking, "Adequate, I can do so much more, give me another chance." And then I realized, oh, that's just Jerry being funny, being like, "Okay, that means it was a great take, let's keep going." So I got to learn his humor better, and it was just a fun experience all the way around. And I got to sing again, which I actually went to school for musical theater, so it was exciting to get to actually use that. Something, and I paid a lot of money for that degree, and I finally got to use it.
That's good to hear. All right. Another question I'd like to ask you, what was it like working on Defrag?
Ooh, Defrag, again. Goodness gracious. I feel like Defrag was a lot like Yozura's character in Haganai, just with a better sense of humor. So I had a good time getting to finally just, rather than be unenthused, I got to be like, I'm a little aloof and I'm really cool, which was exciting. I think my favorite part of the whole show was getting to the part where Micah Solosal's character and Austin Tyndall's character are outside of the girls' locker room window, and I try to spit in his mouth. That was so hard to record because it's just funny. So it was like, I'm sorry, I promise I'm professional. I can do it again without laughing, I swear. So it was a lot of laughter, I can do it again without laughter, I swear.
That was great comedy.
It was. I really enjoyed it. That's my favorite type, is the funny slice of life school is my favorite type of thing to watch.
So the next question, again, all to say about Haganai. What was it like working on Haganai?
My goodness, it was my first named role, so I don't want to say it was a letdown. That sounds terrible, but I was super energetic and excited, let's go, I'm gonna act. And they kept wanting me to be such a flat character, which when you come with such energy like I already have as a person, it was a bit of a struggle. I'd have to get in my car before I go in and be like, okay, calm, unenthused, think of something that makes you mad. And I mean, I had a great time, but it was very hard for me to dial my energy down. I enjoyed getting to be mean and insult Senna all the time. I mean, of course I'm going to be like, I am such a nice person. I don't insult people, but I really do try not to be a jerk. So it's fun when they pay me to be a jerk.
That's one of the funniest shows from Funimation.
Thank you. For years, I didn't really, I would ask people like, oh, have you seen Haganai? They'd be like, no. And so, like, it's funny that people are asking me all these in-depth questions about how the process went now, because I'm like, man, why couldn't you have asked me this 6 years ago when it was more fresh on my mind? I'm going to go home after this and be like, oh, I should have said this.
Happens.
Yeah.
All right. Another question. This one, that's comedy. What's it like working on Overlord?
Overlord. Well, oh my gosh. Okay, so it was exciting and fun. I wanted to be a part of the show more than Yuri Alpha was at first, because I remember auditioning, and I did a couple of pieces, and Kyle told me, like, oh, if the third season comes around, you'll be in there a lot more. I'm like, well, great. I look forward to that. But, at that time, none of us really knew how well the fans were going to take that show. And for about like a year and a half, I was like, oh, I guess the show's gone. I don't know, because I'm busy, I have a day job, trying to work, don't have as much time to watch anime as much as I want. But then I got called in again, like, several months ago, and I was like, oh, it's still going? Yes! And I was at a con several months ago where they put me on an Overlord panel, and I go up there and I tell my friends on the panel, I was like, this is all on you guys. I was in it maybe a little bit, like my character's drawn more than she speaks, and they look at me and they're, what? No, I died in the 6th episode. I only had one line and I was a watch. So thankfully we had Kyle's number on phone. So we're like, who wants to talk to our surprise guest, Kyle? Because everyone wanted to talk about the second season, and we're all like, there was lizard sex? What? Because we don't see what we don't record. So thankfully we had Kyle on the line. And then like the literal next day, they texted me, he's like, you want to record more on Overlord? And I was like, why couldn't you have asked me this before this panel? Oh well, but it's been a lot of fun. And again, I seem to have this character of dark hair and smooth, cool attitude. Yozora, Shitarsa Quinzia, Yuri Alpha. I guess I got a type.
It helps.
Right.
All right. Another question, and this one's very risque show.
Ooh.
What's it working on prison school?
I was actually walking through the halls of Funimation one day, and I knew Sonny by this point, and so I knew he was kind of a jokester. And he walks by and he's like, Whitney, do you do porn? And I'm like, Sonny, who doesn't in this day and age? Gotta pay your bills. And you're just being goofy. And he suddenly gets very serious. He's like, that's good to know. And immediately walks away. And I'm thinking, what? Oh, no, I'm joking, right? Oh, God, you're gone. So I heard that something was in the building. I knew something big was coming. Something big was coming. And when I got a part of it, I was shocked. I questioned where the prison came from, and then I went, anime, and I stopped asking about it, and it was a riot. Just when you described the show to me, at first I was like, I don't know. But I was so shocked at how hilarious it really was. It's, oh my gosh, probably one of my favorite shows, even if I wasn't in it. It's so much fun to watch. I think it's so funny that my character's legs would sweat every time Tia Ballard would speak. Everyone's like, oh, matching lip flaps. I had to match boob bounces at a certain case. I've never done that before. So it was an interesting experience and filled with a lot of laughter. Yeah.
All right. One that's, again, away from the whole risky stuff.
Right.
What was that working on Ace Attorney?
Oh my goodness. When I first got cast in the show, I didn't realize how big of a part Lotta Hart was, because I did have the games to play, but my 3DS, when you open it, it was so old that it just snapped in half, so I never got a chance to actually play it. So I thought it was like a running gag, like the squirrel in Ice Age or something. Like, yeah, it's there, but it's not what the show's about. So by the time we recorded it all, I was like, oh, wow, we're at the last episode? Dang! And then I was really nervous because this actually wasn't a simulcast dub, so I couldn't watch it immediately and be like, oh, thank God, I didn't embarrass myself. I had to wait. And also, I'm from East Texas, so talking like this ain't that hard for me, and it's actually more hard for me to just, when I do turn on this accent, it's hard to turn it back off again. And you're matching lip flaps, so you don't always get to choose what words you say, or you may feel like you need to say the word longer than other things, but the lip flaps don't match that. So it was kind of hard to put this southern drawl in there when sometimes the lip flaps are like da 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 da, and you're like, how can I really put the draw in here? Like, so by the time I finished it, I then started overthinking it all, and I was like, please let the southern accent come out. Oh my gosh, I hope this works. So I was nervous for a full year until it finally came out, and I was like, oh, thank God, okay, the accent came through, because sometimes you need a drawl, and sometimes the lip flaps aren't there for the drawl. But it was a lot of fun. Kyle's a hoot. We had a great time working together. He's just, oh, I love laughing and joking with him. It was a really fun time, and I hope there's more. I relate a lot to Lotta.
All right. And now we have a funny question we'd like to ask you. If you could be any character you have played in real life, who would you be? And you can mix and match. Mix and match?
Okay. Well, I'm easily sunburned, so I'm going to hope for the physics and the rules and magic of anime that I'm not going to get sunburned. But I really like Artemis because she can turn into an owl and she can fly and she has magical powers. I mean, there's other halves of her personality that maybe I don't really want to embody, like sapping the energy of, you know, she's a succubus. I'm just going to let you figure out the rest. Being her would be a lot of fun. I enjoyed her confidence, but also getting to be Lotta and always just being like, well, here I am. Oh boy, I got a photo of the killer right here. Would just be so fun to, I liked how she's everywhere and just happens to know about everything and just so laid back. I wish I could embody Artemis's confidence in the way that she turns into an owl, and I also wish I could embody like Lotta's laid backness. So if I could blend those two together and be them both, maybe that.
All right. And the next question. Is there anything else coming out that you can talk about, or anything you want to plug in at this time?
I don't know if I can talk about it yet. All I'm going to say is that Sunny and I have worked together on something, and you should keep your eye out, because it's short, funny. I had a great time working on it, and the thing I was a part of is complete now, but I think they're waiting for other things to be complete before they release it. So just keep an eye out with Sunny's page, Sunny Straight. We worked on something together that I'm really proud of, but I don't know when I can talk about it. Oh well, so keep your eyes peeled.
All right, that's okay. For people who try to follow that stuff, is there a Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, any other social media for the fans to contact you?
Yes, I have a Whitney Rodgers voice actress, and if it doesn't have voice actress at the end of it, it's not real. There was somebody impersonating me for a while, but I think they were, I mean, as far as I know, they weren't doing anything bad. It seemed like they were just supporting theater in Portland, which I'm like, okay, as long as you're not being mean, I guess. Please don't impersonate me. So if it doesn't say voice actress, it's probably not me. I also have an Instagram account, Whitney Rodgers Model, and Miracle Whip 09. Because like I'm white and tangy like Miracle Whip was my joke from ages ago. So both of those are my Instagram handles. I do have a Twitter, although my phone has locked me out of it. So if you're a Twitter person, I won't see what you say because I'm locked out, and maybe one day I'll get that fixed. But currently it's just my public Facebook page. I do have a website, WhitneyRodgers.com, and my 2 Instagram accounts.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us for this interview.
Thank you for having me.
Yep. We the Ohio guys appreciate it.
I appreciate having you guys. It's one thing to be, when I record, I'm alone in the booth and I don't see anybody else. So sometimes it's hard to remember what I've done or to feel like I've made an impact on anything. So it's really nice to come to these things that people say like, oh, it helped me through this tough time in college. And it feels really good to finally meet people and be like, oh, you did see my show. You did like it. Yay! Because who doesn't like gratification?
Well said. So yeah, thank you again for this.
Thank you.
Hope to see you again next time.
Yes.
And thank you for our viewers for tuning in for this episode of the Ohio Guys. Thank you all. I'm Christian.
And I'm Whitney.
We'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.